description of my job is I am the merchandise manager / PR coordinator, whatever that means. I basically deal with all of the merchandise, the ordering, the keeping up, the stocking, setting it up, tearing it down, and then I also am in charge of their VIP and kind of meet and greets on our own tours. BoyCam's job is...
Technical name, I guess, would be stage manager. Underneath that umbrella is handling all backline, band gear, changing of the guitar strings, changing guitars during the show, making sure nothing breaks during the show, and making sure Mike stays upright the whole show and doesn't trip or die. And then actually recently this summer I kind of have gone into an production design, I guess, for the tours and for our summer and everything, which has been really fun. So I've started working closer with the band and kind of like capturing the vision for their tours and for the show in general, and kind of making it all come alive, I guess, which has been a lot of fun. I never thought I'd be in that type of role, but it's really cool, and it's really nice to, I don't know, see it come from just a bunch of emails and talks on buses and stuff to actually set up every day, do a show, and tear down, and see that all happen. So it's been really cool.
And you do play some tambourine, right?
Yeah.
He's the sixth man of tam, as we say.
Yeah.
Tambo. What else have you done? Shaker.
Little shaker. A few hand claps every now and then. We don't run any tracks, so what you hear live is actually
what you get.
Yeah, it's actually happening there. So sometimes they ask me to step in and give an extra hand or two.
Literally. So yeah, so typical day basically is we get up, depending on when loading is for him and when merch loading is for me.
She usually sleeps a little bit longer than I do.
I usually get to sleep a little bit later, but I work a lot harder, so just kidding. He works hard. We're equal. But it's pretty much, once you get up, it's nonstop till the trailer door is closed and we are sitting in our bunks. So our days usually run about 12 or so hour days.
Give or take, yeah.
So yeah, it's set up, line check for him, sound check, wait a little bit, play, tear it all down, load it all up, and do it all over again. That's, in a nutshell, how our day goes. Don't do it. I'm just kidding. We both absolutely love what we do. We adore who we work for. So there's nothing in the world we'd rather be doing. My advice would be find a band or an artist that you love and that you believe in, and who they are on stage is who they are off stage, because when you have something like that, you don't really feel like you're working ever, because you want to do the best job for them so they succeed, but you also know that their goal is not to just make more money and sell more albums and to be me, but to take care of you as well. So when you're in a camp like that, it's honestly pretty rare to find. We happened to find it. But that would be my biggest thing, is find somebody you believe in that cares about what you do and believes in you, and the investing on both sides is equal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have like an ABC or a 1, 2, 3 like step program or guide, but I'd say probably the biggest advice I give anyone, or just the same thing that I keep going back to, and I feel like it's a major problem. I don't know if it's our generation or if it's just people in this industry or what, but is to enjoy where God has you at that time. I feel like a lot of people can always be looking ahead, which isn't bad. It's always nice to have goals and aspirations, but when those distort your vision of where you are currently and you don't enjoy where you are, then I think it's a waste, because you're going to keep aspiring and keep making these goals, and then you're going to look back and you're never going to realize all these things that you could have enjoyed while you were there. So that's always like, if, you know, with anybody that ever helps like loading in, or, you know, anybody, we have volunteers that come and help us set up and stuff, and that's always my advice to them is like, man, yeah, like she said, find somebody that you want to be invested in, but they're also invested in you, and then just enjoy it. You know, don't get carried away with trying to use it as a stepping stone to get to the next big thing. Just enjoy it and see where God takes you with it. Every day. Every day.
Yeah, it's just confusing. Hence the BoyCam and the GirlCam, which is probably what we will
self-explanatory.
We'll always go by. Usually, like on our struggle tour, when we're in an actual like tour and it's not just show here and there, this typical scenario would walk in, and Tim, our tour manager, kind of explains like who the crew is, so they can, this is gonna be your merch contact, this is gonna be your stage contact, this is gonna be blah blah blah. And so I would usually come in probably about 30 minutes after them, because they help load the merch in and I don't want to get in their way or whatever. And so I would walk in, and this is kind of how it is every day. It's like, so this is your GirlCam, you're married to BoyCam, you're both the cams, it's the cams. And it's literally just that all day, every day. They know, so they know BoyCam and GirlCam, but we haven't had anything on our radios.
Trouble.
Yeah, no troubles. On our radios, people, like, it took a while for it to be like, Tim to Cameron. We'd both just kind of pause and be like, which one? And so now it's kind of adamant, and
second nature.
We don't even go by Cameron. Like when somebody calls me Cameron, I'm like, whoa, where'd that come from? I forget. So no problems, just confusion, kind of always.
Okay, who is your least favorite band member? No, I'm joking.
I'd say, I mean, I've done both things. I've done the typical 9 to 5, and then I've done the road life, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love what I do. It is hard, and we have the incredible and very rare blessing of traveling together. So if that wasn't the case, obviously time apart would be the hardest thing. For us, since we're married and we travel together, we really kind of have it pretty amazing, because we travel together, we work together, we love who we work for, so it's kind of wonderful. So if I could find something, it's just we miss a lot of things back home with like our friends and baby showers and weddings and stuff like that. And sometimes when we're gone so consistently, you lose a lot of contact with people that you love and that you're friends with, and you really have to work hard at maintaining certain friendships, because people just always assume you're out of town, so you don't get invited to this or you don't get invited to that. So, and then when you're like, oh no, I was here, they're like, oh well, I just assumed you were gone. So I'd say the hardest thing probably is just what we kind of miss out on, not having like a typical weekend off and 9 to 5. But all that to say, I love what I do, so I wouldn't really trade it for anything. I'd say that's probably it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful one.
The story of how we became involved with 10th Avenue North coincides with the story of how we met and how we became BoyCam and GirlCam.
Yes.
So my father is a musician for a band called New Song. New Song does a tour called Winter Jam, which travels all around the United States every year consistently. So I grew up going out on the road, working on that tour, working for New Song, so on and so forth, which is how I kind of learned everything. School of Hard Knocks, no college needed. What year was it?
2010.
2010. 07? No, 2010.
Like what? 12.
2010, I was out working on Winter Jam. Cameron Vaughn at the time was out working for Premier Productions, who partners with New Song in putting Winter Jam on. She was a tour rep for Premier Productions. So,
which I randomly got through a friend.
Yeah.
Never heard of Winter Jam, had no idea what it was. Never heard of 10th Avenue North. I just was like, oh, a 3-month Christian tour? Yes, I'll do that.
So, on Winter Jam, there's a lot of people out, and you can go a few weeks, maybe, for those who aren't as, I don't know, as social as others. You can go a couple weeks without meeting everyone on tour. So it was the second week of tour, and we were in Tampa, Florida. It was the end of the night, and we were loading out and packing up. GirlCam was stopping by the tour manager's office for something, and I just happened to be stopping by as well. Saw this beautiful woman that I had not introduced myself to or met, and so introduced myself because she was wearing, not only was she beautiful, she was also wearing a New Orleans Saints t-shirt, which happens to be our favorite football team. So that sparked an attraction, and we introduced ourselves and began to talk, and like, oh yeah, your camera, oh yeah. And then that built the relationship of BoyCam and GirlCam, but also coinciding with that, 10th Avenue North was also out on Winter Jam in 2010, which GirlCam was riding their bus at the time, and I just happened to
come visit our bus every night
or so,
yeah.
And hang out.
We started hanging out more and more progressively, and 10th Ave and I were on the same bus. So I called him my tour boyfriend for the first 2.5 months of the tour, because I was like, oh, we have the same name and we love the Saints, and he's adorable. But I am a lot older than him, so he will forever be my tour boyfriend. And then the more we started hanging out, the more he would come over and hang out with 10th, and we would all just hang out together every night. And by the end of the tour, he was really close with Jason and Mike, and then we had started dating. And then after that, they took him out on Light Meets the Dark tour, and then took him out for a couple shows here and there. After that, he worked for another Christian artist, and I worked in the country music world for a bit. And then, literally by the grace of God's timing, we got married 2 years ago in May, and right before we got married, Jason called us over to his house, and they had a guy working for them, kind of doing both of our jobs, and the artist he was working for was about to go off the road for 4 months, and that guy quit at the same time. So Jason was like, we want to offer both of you guys a full-time position to tour with us, to which we cried and kissed the ground at his feet, and we were like, we'll think about it. We'll think about it. Yeah. No, we were like, duh. So that's it was all because of Winter Jam is how our marriage happened and how our friendship with 10th Ave happened. So. Oh, guys. So much wisdom we can impart on you.
Keep buying their music so that we can get paid.
So we can eat.
And come to our shows.
Yes, if you come to a show, please introduce yourselves. You probably won't see BoyCam, but you'll see me. Because he's on stage and he's always stressed out on stage, but I'm usually just stressed out behind the merch table. Yeah. But thank you guys for supporting 10th Ave and following their music. We want you guys honestly to know that who they are truly on stage is who they are off stage, if not better. They're amazing people with amazing hearts, with amazing families, with an amazing love for the Lord. Their passion is insane. They're literally, there's nobody in this industry we'd rather work for. So you're doing the right thing by liking their music, because they mean it. And so thank you guys for loving them, because we love and adore them as well. And introduce yourselves to us at a show if you come, because you already know our names. It's very easy to remember.
Yeah. So yeah.